Hello. Let me know when you can see me. I'd love to know when anybody can see me. I don't know how long it takes. Someone will see me. And I know in the old days, it was certain people were always first to say hello. But I don't. I got a cup of tea. Look and see what my cup's called. Mug. I am a mug. I know. Papa. Papa. And my first word to you is I have a lovely family. I have a lovely family. A beautiful, lovely family. Anybody see me yet? Hello? Anybody see me? Guys, make yourself known. Can you see me? Hello? How have I messed this up? Have I? Have I messed this up? Hello? Cool. I think I made contact. Yay! Do you know what? I'm so rusty, guys. That took 5 minutes. Took 5 minutes. Everything good, right? You can see and hear me. This is good. Hi, people. Can you still hear me? So I'm going to turn one down. You still hear me, guys? Welsh Pam, Liz, Melissa, Simon. I have a slight problem here that I'm not seeing it making contact with anyone. Liz, everything good? Yeah. Okay, I'll make a start. As I was saying, I was given this on Father's Day because when you're a father, if you live long enough, you also become a granddad or a papa in the USA. I'm now a father to three and a grandfather to more. And the whole point in tonight's show is try to teach, I know, try to inform you what it's like to be me. Now, I had this highfalutin, I love that word. I had this highfalutin idea to expose cover up by the police and the government. You know there are cover ups by the police and government, don't you? You do know that, don't you? Now, I will read things you're saying in chat, but I want to have my say and then I'll talk to you deeper. I need to manifest the situation. So I wanted to be a whistleblower in my ideal world, in my like naive way, with my empathy that I want to help people that have had a great injustice. Murder victims who come to me, not their parents, and said, AD, I don't believe that my child died in an accident. I believe it was murder. Or AD, I haven't got enough money to bury my murdered wife. And in the pandemic, In my ideal world, when I was ideally doing good in my head, I thought I was doing good. In the pandemic, we built a community in a place called YouTube, and it was based on true crime, right? But it was so much more. It was so much more. I started to notice that the people in chat started to talk to each other. And it was a pandemic, and millions of people never saw anybody for 1 month to another month. So I decided I have to go live every frigging night. And apart from any times I were ill, I went in the pandemic, if I could, every single night, including Christmas Day. Every single night I wanted to be there so you guys could talk to each other, not for me to show off, but so you could communicate. Now, I'm not a person to keep screenshots or emails because my email says your email is full, and I delete 1,000 emails, the oldest ones. So I never got proof or receipts of all this. But because you were there and you spoke to each other, the number of people that said, if it wasn't for this community, I wouldn't be here. And it wasn't one or two people, it was loads of people. And you reached out to those people and you became one. You became, you just became friends, didn't you? And we built a community of 100,000 subscribers across my boards. People were saying, "No, it was only 5. You bought them all, but you saw them speak to each other." So I thought, "Oh, thanks, Liz. Thanks. Thank you. Appreciate that." COVID was the perfect storm for AD to launch a community to help people that had injustices. That's all I wanted to do. People that had injustices. But with that 100,000 we got 100 trolls. And you would say, "Well, what does it matter, 100 trolls? Ignore them, AD." And I thought, "Yeah, ignore them. I don't care what they think of me." But I'm naive because in my not caring what they thought about me, they built teams and they invaded my Facebook and sent lies to all my friends and family that I was a sex offender, I was this, I was that, to all my family and friends, not 1 or 2, all of them. And I wake up from like Uncle so and so, "What's this, Alan? What's this?" And mud sticks, right? Of course, my close friends knew it was all BS, but people that knew my name were like, "Oh," maybe whispering to each other, I don't know. And suddenly, who cares about what a few trolls said? Became very important because I had to pass through it 4 times I moved homes. And you'll say, "Well, why have you moved home 4 times?" Have you seen what people do to so-called sex offenders? Have you seen how many of them had their houses burnt down? How many of them been murdered? Cancel culture? You don't know the meaning of the word. It's way beyond cancel culture. It's obsessive stalking daily, minute by minute, 24/7, trying to destroy your reputation, your life, everything. But worst of all, my mental health. I told you years ago, I had a breakdown years before all this, and I suffered anxiety, but they're gonna go, "He's making that up." Doesn't matter. What my past involves some dark sides, some dark things in my head. Everybody, if they live alone, get dark thoughts in the middle of the night, right? You've seen Baby Reindeer, right? That's if you picture Baby Reindeer, you see what I went through. And that become triplicate when I was taken to a civil court. I don't want to talk about the case, but I was taken to a civil court and had a fund of money being raised against me by the general public. You imagine that? That you've got a fund out there and people are raising money to destroy your life, and it's been there for 3 years. And the citizens say, "We've got to stop this AD because he's doing this and doing that." Well, what do you think they're doing to me? What do you think daily torture? Drip, drip, drip. We're gonna see you in prison. You're gonna go to court. Da, 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 da. 5 years. And you know what? I don't see an end to this civil thing. I don't see an end because it's so freaking complicated. It's not just about I called someone a P or I hit someone or I accuse somebody of something. It's based on nothing. It's based on me making videos about a case where I believe somebody was involved more than they said. Do you know what that is? That's an opinion. An opinion. And for having that opinion, I've been absolutely smashed to bits. You know it. You if you're one of the ones that does it, you're doing it, and you're probably recording this ready to do it again. No, I'm not here asking you to give me money. I don't want money. I'm beyond that. I'm now just a pensioner. YouTube finished me. There's no point me doing stuff to make money or this is my career, by the way, being a YouTuber. They took it away from me. They took it away from me, yet they still persecute me and still want money off me, things I've said. Oh, I swear to you, much worse things have been done to me than anything I've done to anyone in my life. I had to move home 4 times. I've had YouTube channels say what they like about me and backed by certain people who have power to make things worse for me. Free speech, right? Thank you, no, thank you. I have, great believer in free speech, but, where is free speech and where is persecution? If I say let's say, for instance, if I say, true crime, that this poor man, a TV commentator, his wife and 2 children were murdered by a crossbow yesterday while he's at work, and he comes home from work, and his wife and 2 lovely daughters still barely alive when he gets home with crossbow injuries, and they all die. My first thing is to go, "Why?" And this man was named. They pretty sure he did it, CCTV. And then they say, "Well, the man was known to the victims." Then I say, "This is bigger than a random murder," right? It's like and that's the sort of stuff I do, and I would throw myself into this case, and I would try to get the truth out, and especially if someone was trying to cover something up, I would try to find out everything, and it seems that's not allowed these days. So that's where is my delving into a murder case free speech, or is it persecution of a family? And again, you have to have an opinion on that. I don't care what your opinion is. That was my passion, trying to solve true crime. So then I would say, "Why has this man murdered these 3 ladies?" And I would say there has to be a connection. When I see the daughters at I think they're in their early 28, 30, possibly a man that stalked one of these daughters and built a vendetta, gone round there and killed all 3 of them. That's just my first thought. I don't know what the truth is yet, but I would piece that together and say, there has to be motivation. And it won't be murdering the wife who's 65. Be one of these 2 lovely girls. I see it over and over again. The abuse of women and the murder of women. I see it over and over again by narcissistic men. Maybe he was turned down, maybe I don't know the story yet, but it will come out. And that's what we did, right? That's what we did in COVID, isn't it? That's what we did. I don't think that's persecution of anyone. I think that's like, what's Netflix? Netflix built its life around true crime murder. But for some reason, I'm a conspiracy theorist because I've got an opinion. I have an opinion, and it's a conspiracy theory, right? Like Kennedy. I have an opinion on Kennedy. I think he was taken out by their own government. Was I right or wrong? It doesn't matter. It's an opinion. I wasn't arrested for it. I wasn't sued for it. I wasn't trolled for it. I wasn't shut down for it. Certain cases on YouTube, somewhere Wales. I could name others, but I won't. So that's a conspiracy. If they don't like what you're saying, everything you say is a lie and it's a conspiracy. But what about Watergate? Was that a conspiracy? Yeah, until it was proven true, and then it was reality. A lot of conspiracies are proven to be true, and the people that whistleblow on this, they sometimes they're murdered. The guy that found weapons of mass destruction, or not, ended up supposedly committing suicide in a woods in a position where he couldn't reach where he killed himself. They do it if you know too much or you say too much. For me, it never got to the scale of killing me off, but they're trying. By labeling me a certain word and giving out my address, they are, believe me, they are putting my life in danger on a daily basis, and I've got nothing. I'm cancelled. There's no point me doing crime because it's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. I'm trying to get it across so you understand where I am, because we've got to discuss where I'm going to be in the future. You are my patrons, and you know the true story. You know the true story. You know that night in my life where I had a certain family, and you know what went on. You know why I'm being persecuted. I'll fight that to the end. I would they think I was gonna give up, just throw the towel in. No, I will never throw the towel in, ever. So, take a footballer, Saka, right, from Arsenal, Rashford. Thank you, Melissa Marvelous. 3 black footballers missed penalties in the last European football final. Now, England have got to the finals again this Sunday. God bless them. Let's hope England can win this time. Last time, we went out on penalties to a team called Italy, and 3 black guys, I'm saying they're black because of what happened, missed. Their lives wasn't one worth living. They were persecuted, racial abuse, all sorts of abuse, and they're young men, right? Well, they had the help of the police. They had the help of their football club. They had many people arrested who said things on Twitter and stuff. People can say what they like about me on Twitter or anything, and no one arrests anybody. They had their protection, and they carried on with their job, and they're still getting paid. Now this year, they're taking penalties again. One of them, Saka, and scored. And the smile on his face when he scored was like, "Yes, I showed you, racist. I scored this time." And it sent goose pimples up my arm when he scored that goal because of the smile on his face. I know what he was thinking. "Stuff you. Put that in your pipe and smoke it." And I'm pleased for them. I don't have that protection. I can't get on with my job. Imagine if I started a new channel and all I talk about is football. I'm an expert on football. I could do a channel just about Chelsea. But what would happen? I'd invite a guest on, say, an old Chelsea player, and I invite him on and I say, tomorrow night we've got John Smith on, a Chelsea hero from the 1980s. Great. They'd find him and send him a load of lies about me and tell him that I'm not, don't go on the show. And then he'd phone me up the next day and say, sorry, Al, you're toxic. You've been cancelled. We can't come on your show. Can't even do my job. I can't even start an innocent thing about football because they're right to everybody. And I won't be able to use my contacts in football. And if I do, they'll be trolled. You see the quandary I'm in? I could do my art. I love art. Some people laugh at my art and say it's rubbish. Some people think it's brilliant. Art is what I've been doing lately because oh, just do. I did a football art today, or today, last week. This is a guy called Jude Bellingham. I get it. Jude Bellingham is a multi-millionaire footballer for Real Madrid in England, and I sensed he's in pain. If you can see that, but I sensed that although he's famous and fantastic for Real Madrid in England, look at the pain. He gets trolled. So the background is chaos. He's surrounded by chaos, and there's a sadness in his eyes that I try to portray. So my art is I feel the person, right? I feel for the person, and I try to paint that person's inside behind the mask. Yeah, this is Jude Bellingham. I don't think he'll ever be happy because of the trolls in this world that will always be on his back, his girlfriend, his family, and whatever. That's my art. My art is feeling. Now, you can like my art, or you might make films about it and laugh at it. I don't care. Somebody saw it today and said it was brilliant. Somebody else might say it's absolute rubbish, but it's me. It's my thoughts in canvas about Jude Bellingham. I'm not just a damn stupid conspiracy theorist. I have hobbies. I like comedy. I like true crime. But true crime has ruined my life. I'm just gonna just to have a cup of tea a second. I'm gonna show you. Oh, come on. I just I'm trying to add a film. Can you see me okay? A slight problem technical wise, I think. Damn it. I was enjoying that. So here he is. Okay. Okay. I'm trying to get a chance to have a cup of tea. Cancel culture.
Freedom of expression, because there's a bookseller who did work for Waterstones. Her name is Tilly Fitzgerald, and she posted this tear-stained message on X, Twitter, everyone of course. I'm so sad. She got sacked because she broke Waterstones social media rules. They don't like people posting this sort of thing. What happened was she made comments in response to the author Christina Dalcher, expressing her support for a new publishing group called the Scene Network. This publishing group works to protect women's rights and raise concerns around the impact of gender ideology, in other words, trans issues. Christina Dalcher is of the J.K. Rowling point of view. She believes that, you know, biological women are women, and that biological men cannot become women, which is true. They can become trans women, but they cannot become women. Anyway, so Tilly Fitzgerald, who runs a big media account called Tilly Loves Books, 90,000 followers, she wrote on social media to Christina Dalcher, "Oh, I'll enjoy tearing up your books and popping them in the bin today. Thanks for the heads up." Let's talk to Lois McLatchy Miller, who is a free speech advocate. Hello, Lois.
Hi, Kevin. How are you doing?
I'm all right. Tilly doesn't really love books, does she? Anyone who destroys a book, you know, and I'm not going to shy away from this comparison. Do you remember what the Nazis did to books? They burned them. Destroying books is not the action of anyone who loves books. Tilly Fitzgerald has no idea what it means to love books, does she?
I think there's definitely a strong argument to be made, Miriam, that perhaps that is indeed why Waterstones were upset with her for threatening to destroy the product that they had employed her to sell. But it is interesting, you know, I've been commenting on the culture wars, as it were, for the last few years, and this is the first time, I think, that we're here talking about a story where someone has lost employment for being on the more liberal end of the Twitter comment. Normally, we hear about cancellation for people who have said things like, you know, children cannot consent to puberty blockers, or no child has ever been born in the wrong body. It's very rare that we hear something from this side. And so it is interesting to see maybe the waters have turned a little bit on this issue, and the comment that we can make from free speech there is that it's time for people who have been calling for censorship for the last few years to realize what it's like to have views censored, and respect that space for free speech and disagreement.
Exactly right. And we should stress that Waterstones fired her on the grounds purely of breaching their social media policies. And it isn't to do with Waterstone's stance on trans rights or anything else. It's just they don't allow their employees to make these kind of tweets. So it's breaking the rules of the staff, and Tilly has accepted that. But I just say, the reason I wanted to do this story is I saw this, she's sobbing, "Oh, it's the only job I ever loved." And you know, Tilly loves books. She doesn't understand what it means to love books. You know, if you love books, you love you love Das Kapital by Karl Marx. You love Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler, not because you love what's in them, but books are books are books. They are sources of knowledge, and to destroy them, to revel in the destruction of books, is not to understand what it means to love books. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely. And we've seen this time and time again, haven't we, in the kind of book community. I remember the times where J.K. Rowling's books were, you know, threatened to be put on bonfires. And it does show a complete lack of interest in engaging. These people who are supposed to be interested in literature and engagement are supposed to be able to read across the spectrum and engage with interesting and unheard ideas and challenge their own ideas. It's kind of the the whole point of Little Literary World is to have these challenging conversations. And yet somehow within this industry, there has been this creep of censorship. There's been this structure placed around what is acceptable to be writing about, speaking about, thinking about, and publishing on. And I think with this story blowing up, we're really seeing that gilded case be shattered a bit. I think most people now know that we must, have this space within our society to have disagreements, to have publishing on a wide range of different topics. And when those topics bring up something that's controversial or unacceptable, then we can criticize. But that doesn't mean we should never hear these ideas in the first place. That's a disaster for our society.
Sure. And I suppose what annoys me about this, what annoys me about Tilly and people like this, is they just close their minds. So who knows what Christina Doucher's latest book is about? Who knows what's in it? I must admit, I haven't read any of her books, but to just turn around and say, I'm not going to read them because she has an opinion about something I don't agree with, and therefore I'm going to rip her books up and throw them in the bin. That is so depressing, isn't it?
It is, and unfortunately for Tilly, she kind of got a taste of her own medicine. She was trying to destroy the books and the livelihood of somebody she disagreed with, and now, unfortunately, because of those comments, for whatever reason, and we understand that Waterstone states not to do with the substance, but for her comments, she has indeed lost her position, and so it's this kind of chain of cancellation, which proves really the point that this doesn't go anywhere. Cancel culture is unproductive and unfruitful. Engaging in academic and interesting and engaging conversation is a much more fruitful way to go. But still, across our laws, across our countries, across Europe, really, we see politicians, we see those who influence society buying in much more to the cancel culture side of things, being much more willing to shut down debate, shut down books, shut down expression. In Finland, actually, only this summer, actually, there's a lady on trial going to finish the Supreme Court for quoting the Bible, for expressing her opinions in a tweet with a verse copied from Romans. And the prosecutor in that case has likened it to Mein Kampf and saying that these things should be banned and not discussed. And so we do see this ridiculous level of censorship of books, of things and beliefs that people disagree with. And it's just got to this ludicrous state. And we have to just wind back the clock a bit and allow those conversations to happen.
And teach school kids. I think I blame our education system, not just this country, but clearly all over the Western world, particularly in America, but here as well. The kids coming out of school who just seem to have no tolerance for anyone who doesn't think exactly what they think. So you get people like Tilly, who thinks it's perfectly justified to trash a book, chuck it in the bin, rip it to pieces because she doesn't agree with what the author thinks. It's just depressing. As I say, it's depressing. Perhaps Tilly will now have learned the error of her ways. I hope so. By the way, we did try to get hold of Tilly and get her to come on and talk about it, but I think she's feeling a little bit bruised and wounded at the moment. But frankly, she deserves it. Not that I wish any upset on anyone, but honestly, Tilly, you're the architect of your own dad.
Basically, I'm not about mood or anything. I'm just trying to fill you in on where I am today. Basically, now it's got to the stage where people who are offended by your opinion think they have a right to not let anyone else hear your opinion, right? So all you people that like my opinion, you're as bad as me because what are you agreeing with this debate, We need to close him down. I hope you can hear me. I'm not sure. Yeah, so there we are. I'm not offended by people's opinions. I want them to have opinions. But when you have an opinion and the way they deal with your opinion is to ridicule you, destroy you, call you names, make up lies about you, it's a battle you can't win, isn't it? You just can't win it. And like they told me, they'll never stop. Ever stop. Ever stop. So right to free expression is essential. I mean, it's absolutely essential. But it's worse. Cancel culture tells speech. Canceling people you disagree with, or anything, or even like how we vote, or anything like. If you're going to cancel stuff, where are we going to go? What's next? Freedom of assembly, freedom from fear, and it will impact the status of the cancelee, right, for livelihoods. I know lots of actors that have been cancelled. Should someone's career be terminated forever without a fair-minded, like, judge deciding, you know? Should they be penalised out of proportion to their offence? Should my punishment from the trolls have no end date, ever? Should my career be terminated forever? Should I be penalised for having an opinion? Cancellation is widespread online now, I tell you that. Due to the essence, it must exist within public discourse to produce full effects. All sorts of internet communities are being trolled. Tailor-made cancellations on a case-by-case basis. Once guilty in the court of public opinion, there is no appeal. It's a chasm. I'm off of YouTube because a number of people complained about me, regardless of what YouTube said. If you complain to YouTube 100,000 times, they're going to go, that armchair detective, it's not worth the trouble. We'll throw him off for breaking terms of agreements or whatever, like, because all these people complained about him. He must be a bad man. And if you amass 100,000 complaints, you're going to get closed down. That's how it works. Nothing to do with what you're doing or what's justice or anything like that. My transgressions become me being demonized, slamming me irredeemably on wicked Twitter becomes common. My life's been upended. We no longer reconcile our problems with debate, do we? We no longer agree to disagree, do we? We just hate. We just like, oh, I'm offended. He's got to go. Nuances. Is there hope of something changing? Is cancel culture going to get so bad that we go against it? I hope so. Because I had a lot of support, and I still have. Why should they be deprived of our meetings because they don't like me? Do they not like all of you? Or is it just me? I don't know the answers, but I do know the predicament I'm in. I'm looking around thinking, I'm thinking, I like to do my art, but imagine buying this piece of art and then in your inbox, you get 50 emails saying this man is this, that, and the other. I can't win, guys. I've obviously spent many hours thinking about this program tonight. I can't win. I have your support. Yeah, I have your support, and I love it. I don't know what to do without it. I honestly don't know what the future is. I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to plan. I'm in this straitjacket with this civil case that's grinding me, and I keep going. When that ends, I can move on, right? But because I won't give in, it doesn't end. Because I'm not like most people that give in, It might never end. I mean, you imagine me trying to sue someone in America. It's almost impossible, right? Someone's trying to do the reverse of that to me, but they don't understand that it's more or less impossible. How would you sue somebody who's got no money? It's not like a criminal case where you're going to court and if you lose, you're going to jail. Civil case is all about the money. You lose, you owe someone some money. That's it. If you lose, you owe someone some money. How are they going to get it? What's my mum used to say? Blood out of a stone. How do you get blood out of a stone? Well, there's no blood in the stone. Doesn't matter. We want 100K. There's no 100K in my stone. Don't matter. We know you put it in the drawer. No, I haven't. Doesn't matter. We're going to prosecute you anyway, my God. So we come to this. I've gone from hero to zero. From the pandemic hero, let's just say that. We had a lot of support. We did. Pandemic hero, creating a community. Today is zero, where I have to move house. I can't film where I am. I can't film where I walk. I can't mention my family's name. Can't I can't do anything online. I don't know. I just feel I've been roasted. What can I do? I don't see an end. Don't see an end to it. If someone can think of an end, I'd love to know what it is. Smeared, smeared to death. And I'm here thinking right now, what encouragement can I give you that I can come back? I could come on here every night and talk about stuff to you, but my punishment is for people to make films about me calling me a sex offender. That's my punishment, speaking. I could go into complete silence, but then they win, right? I try complete silence, doesn't do any good. So, you guys in chat, give me some hope. What can I do? What future? What do you know? I have to live. I live in a rented house. It costs money. StreamYard costs £50 a month. Sky, £50 a month. Rumble, £25 a month. Petrol. Food. I don't want your money. I'm not asking you for money. I'm looking for a way out of this chasm where I can live. I have a purpose. I need a purpose to get up tomorrow. I want some sort of thing to do. Like, I don't want a hobby. I've got a hobby. I need a job with money. I was thinking maybe like a security guard overnight because I don't sleep. I sleep 3 hours. I was thinking maybe get a job as a night watchman. I quite like the idea of that in the dark, where I could study and still do my studying, but get paid for watching over something. Cider tree factory. Yeah. What do you think? I watch me maybe. Nosy Nana says F them, yeah. I tried F'ing them. I tried F'ing them, and I've still got no job. So I need a job. It ain't gonna be YouTube. Look, if I had YouTube, I would stick it to them. If I had YouTube, No problem. I don't have YouTube. I don't have my platform. I'm cancelled. And I don't think you understand that I am literally cancelled. By cancelling my YouTube, I'm cancelled. I'm here now talking to 50 of you. I had 2,000 people in chat, 3,000 people in chat. How do I reorganize the future? If you've got any ideas, let me know. I haven't got enough money to buy a cafe. I haven't got enough money to buy a horse and cart. So starting a business, what with? I have worked all my life. I don't want to just dry up. Oh, anyway, while you're thinking what AD can do to pass the time, I'm going to show you another thing about council. This is a TED one. Remember TED, where someone that's been through it talks about it. I'm just going to name this lady to give her credit. Cancel culture, the divine and disconnect within society. Jasmine Hello will tell us about cancel culture for her.
Ask anyone to describe my generation, more commonly known as Gen Z, and they'll likely mention TikTok, Instagram, or Snapchat. Social media is the center of our attention. We're always scrolling, tapping, and liking. But amidst the online networking chaos, the prevalent idea of cancel culture arose. Cancel culture is defined as when someone is pushed out of social or professional circles in a modern type of ostracism. Now, cancel culture was originally used as a way to call people out for being prejudiced or hateful towards a certain group of people. However, we have gone from calling someone out for a major wrongdoing and ostracizing them completely just because we can. I like to call this a power play. You see, we have gone from holding accountability to all of the antis and phobics online to name calling and borderline bullying. All for that little slice of power. We put the label canceled on anything that bothers us in the slightest. So, I guess the question is, how do we fix this? How do we bring our community back together? How do we turn canceled into connected? Well, the answer seems simple enough. Just stop arguing over the internet, or maybe delete all of your social media to avoid this situation. But to the world's avail, the social media network isn't actually the root of the problem. Take Beauty and the Beast, for example. Now, we have all seen or heard of Beauty and the Beast at least once or twice, right? Whether it's the live-action version featuring Emma Watson, the critically acclaimed onstage musical, or simply the original animated Disney movie, well, it is evident that the antagonist, Gaston, has convinced the angry mob that the Beast is, well, merely a beast, that he is evil inside and out. Also that he can marry Belle, our ingenue and hero. Now, I know you're probably asking yourselves, why is she saying all this? Let's imagine ourselves in this situation. Gaston represents cancel culture, while the angry mob represents society. Cancel culture seems to have this strong, invisible power over society that leads us to ambush and berate whatever it tells us is wrong. Therefore, the beast represents just about anything and everything. We have completely seemed to lose the idea of boundaries when it comes to canceling an idea or a product versus canceling an actual human being. We have seemed to have blurred the line of distinction between what is online for entertainment versus what we see online that requires empathy, dividing our society into fragments when really we should be connecting and bonding. Fortunately, I took the time to come up with a solution to this problem. Now, I myself am not able to completely exile cancel culture, as everyone is entitled to freedom of speech. However, I formulated a simple enough acronym that is easy to understand and applicable to your everyday lives. CBC, meaning contemplate before correcting, is a way to stop and retract your thoughts before permanently posting something that you may regret online. Let's say you find yourself in a situation where you see a video of someone spewing hateful slurs towards a certain community online. First, you should contemplate whether or not it is worth going out of your way to correct. If you do find that action is necessary in this situation, decide how you would like to proceed. Would you rather message the person or maybe report the video? There are millions of different ways to go about it. Just remember that whatever you post online is fairly difficult to take back. If you find yourself in a situation where, for example, a video of someone dancing makes you upset, you should simply scroll. Because ostracizing someone simply for expressing themselves is never worth it. Using these methods, I aim to educate fellow youth and beyond about the decline within society. Society has disconnected with the real world significantly over the past few years and has normalized mentally and physically harmful trends, the most prominent one being cancel culture, which affects careers and futures long term. I want to bring awareness to the ways that we can reconnect society and discontinue the normalization of cancel culture. So, whenever you see something online that you may not like, always remember to contemplate before correcting. Thank you.
So there we are. What do we do? So I've worked it out, right? There's about 7 things I can do to stop this. First of all, and to the foremost, don't give a damn about cancel culture. If you do, I'm giving those small-minded people control over my mind that they don't deserve. You know that. I do that. Realize that these are often people who want to silence your ideas because they're afraid if others hear them, they might agree with me. And when you are running a cover-up, the last thing you want is a guy with 100,000 supporters saying, "Yeah, I think he's right that someone else was involved in that murder." That's the last thing you want to hear. So the best policy is to be honest, because the best defense against any lie is the truth, right? I always try to have my facts straight before I speak. I can back up what I say. If I go to court, anything I say, I can back up with evidence, right? If I'm in court against someone that swore under oath that this is the truth, this is a statement of truth, and within minutes I pick out boom, 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 3 lies, and tell the judge, boom, 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 3 lies in their statement of truth. They're destroyed. Their facade of I'm this, I'm so upset is destroyed because the judge goes, "Well, you just lied in the statement of truth." I won't give you the example because it's ongoing. I have many examples where I catch people out who pretend things about me aren't true. And that's my main defense. Even if I'm going against the best barristers in the world, my armor is the truth and proving their lies. So that's the way I'm surviving this long. And to you, if ever you're wrong, have the courage to say you're wrong. But when you're right, you take a stand, have the courage to stand up for those principles. That's what I'm doing. I'm allowed to have an opinion on a murder case. And it's going to stay that way, isn't it? I'm not giving up. If I'm wrong, I say I'm wrong. I've been wrong many times in cases. I got that wrong. Sorry. I don't hear many people apologizing to me. See a few, but not many. If I'm facing withering criticism, Others will see my strength and be encouraged by it. He's not letting them win. He's not ever going to let them win because I will keep going forever. If I'm right and give in, all I've done is emboldened cancel culture. People say to me, it's time to stop, AD. It's time to stop your programs, your everything. If I do, I've let them cancel me, haven't I? You know I never give in. So this is the number. I can't stop and I can't carry on. It's like, how can you stop? I can't stop. How can you carry on? I'm cancelled. Where do we go? I don't want to feed their voracious appetite and make them stronger so they can go on and cancel the next person. Or in the case of a civil case, if they destroy me, then they can go and destroy someone else next, can't they? Who might not be as strong as me. I don't want that to happen either. I don't want to give them energy to seek out another victim. I saw Mary Marlowe. I won't even name them. I've seen many people destroyed online. And if I get destroyed by them, then I'm weak. I've got to stand up for the truth. And I'm going to make it easier for others to stand up for the truth. And as a result, put a stop to the cancelling of people in a certain community. Because I know there's many out there cowering in silence, afraid to back me, afraid to tell the truth. And they cower in silence for fear of upsetting their betters, as they call them. Oh, we can't say that because we're upset so and so. I don't want to. I'm not trying to cancel. Have you ever seen me try to cancel anyone? Who I tried to cancel? The only time I stand up and say something should be stopped is if they're calling you a sexual offender or worse. Then that has to stop. I don't want to cancel somebody just as an opinion. If someone says I hate AD's ideas, that's fine. No skin off my nose if you hate my ideas. But if you try to destroy my reputation, that's wrong. Just study a case, not me. No, it's a last resort when you resort to saying I'm old or I'm ugly or I'm this or I'm that or dyslexic or anything like that. It's not that's not an opinion. That's just harm, that's just bullying. There's no need to be cruel. I will not be cruel and adopt their tactics of calling them out as this, that, and the other, or talking about their looks. Or I'm not going to go there because no one's perfect. We all fall short of perfection. We need to show grace and forgiveness towards others. But it's hard because I'm not getting that same message from the others. They say they're going to come after me forever. I don't want to be a hypocrite. I don't want to attack people and become a hypocrite. Anything I will say in front of this camera could end up on social media and land me in trouble. So I think twice before what I say and what I do. But they don't. They don't give a damn about labeling somebody a sex offender or giving out someone's address or smearing or contacting their work or contacting their family. They think that's okay. It's not. There's millions of people out there who will take things out of context and deliberately take things out of context make other people look bad. And they blind themselves to the truth. Even when you prove things, they blind them to the truth, and they carry on taking things out of context. I might say one sentence 5 years ago, and they still bring it up out of context. So really, I'm advising you to be careful what you say on the internet. Even about me, be careful what you say. You don't be in the end, in the end, you can't be afraid to speak up for what you know is right. If I do, I inspire others to follow me and speak up as well. And eventually, there'll be enough people eventually out there to cancel culture. That's what I want to see. I want to see YouTube saying, we're closing you down because you are lying about that person. If you have an opinion about that person, that's okay. But if you lie about them, that's not okay, is it? Remember the old days when you could debate and disagree with people? Debates were the cornerstone of Oxford and Cambridge debating societies. Now Oxford and Cambridge won't even allow people into the debating centres they don't like. They won't even let you debate something if they don't like you. That's how bad it's got. Islamophobia. What about Catholic phobia? What about Protestant-phobia? What about Christianophobia? What about communist phobia? What about Toryphobia? What about Democrat phobia? That's okay. You can have an opinion on all those things, right? But you can't have a frigging opinion on Islam because that's Islamophobia. Can't have it. And that's what's going to bring this whole world crashing down soon. I know that. I was listening to an MP, a Labour MP. You've got to remember that Muslims will live in a tight group in a certain part of the country, right? They will vote. So this lady was trying to run her campaign by knocking on doors and say, "Will you vote for me?" She happened to be conservative, but she couldn't do anything. And she'd have her friends go around with her knocking on doors. "You gonna vote conservative? What do you think of this?" She ended up being chased down the road by a group of men. Her supporters ended up having their tires slashed by certain people. They ended up having their meetings disrupted by a certain group of people when they're holding a public meeting and shut it down. Because you can't say anything about a certain portion of society. Say what you like about communists. Say what you like about Nicola Sturgeon. Don't you dare say anything about that society. You go to their countries, there is no debate. There is no voting. They just bring in their law, and you just better stick to it. And you people that support this woke society of don't do anything unless Islamophobia. You people that support that, especially you females, you won't be allowed out of the house. I was watching a cricket match in Greece. England versus Afghanistan. Cricket World Cup. Now this Afghan team, great they are. They're not allowed to play in their own country because it's so war torn and that. They have to play in Saudi Arabia or something, Dubai. And they won a big match against Australia, right? Which is amazing. The mighty Australians beaten by Afghanistan. And what I saw, what nobody else really clicked on, they went round with cameras to certain towns in Afghanistan, and there was thousands of the people on the streets. Yeah, like England when they win the World Cup, though. They were all men. Every city They were all men. The women weren't allowed out. What do you think they do to our society and our politics when they're more than 50%? I fear for your future. 1950, no, 1950, 2050, they will have more people in this country than us, rest of us all put together. Those woke people better get their house in order for 2050 when they won't be allowed out, won't be allowed to vote, won't be able to drive a car, won't be able to put up a Union Jack. You do it now in London, right? We're at this football. Come on, England, Sunday. Taxi drivers have been banned from having the English flag across the St George. They're not allowed to have the English flag on their taxis. Why is that in our country? On Sunday, we're in the European final in London. It's London, but in London, there's no fans park. There's no celebration of us getting to the final of the European Championship because we should be ashamed of being English, right? Only D-Day, there's nothing in London about it. D-Day, commemorative, no flags, no nothing. We're actually taking England out of England, and you're not seeing it. You're not seeing it. I'm seeing it. And I want to talk about it, but I don't have a platform. Places in London where if you've got a dog, you take it for a walk, you'll be followed with people telling you dogs are dirty. We don't want dogs in our street. Get rid of your dog. Certain religions don't like dogs. People have been driven out of their streets by the dozen. I don't think it's put on purpose. You don't think 500 people will come across on a boat today, all young men, who throw their mobile phone and their passport in the water as they get off the boat. You don't think those 500 are all coming for a purpose? You don't think those 500 have got to be housed, got to be given a new mobile phone, be given food, by giving clothes, by giving a bike, by giving our housing? Future. I'm talking about my future, but I'm worried about your future. I shouldn't be closed down, but I'm being closed down. I guess I better stop. I will be back. But I wanted to come and say hello to you guys. I'm still here. And there's a very good reason why there's a lot I can't do or say. I hope you stick with me. Stick with me. We'll find a way. And if you've got an idea how we can find a way out of this jungle, write to me on AD subs, isn't it? I don't know the exact. We'll put up the write to me if you've got any idea. Let's get out of this jungle. Okay, so that's about it. Uh, I appreciate you guys that are saying you're missing me, and I appreciate you people that have turned up to give me support. And there's things I can't say, but because of this ongoing court case, I can't function as I want to. Find a way. Thank you very much. God bless, and think of me now and again. Thanks a lot.